Greetings, YouTube. There has been a rash of crime across America, and I recently encountered a Metafilter thread dealing with this, hence the name of this video. Target and other chains have overblown the impact of shoplifting. The rash of store closures across the nation are, as might have been suspected, driven by other factors. In the case of Rite Aid, bankruptcy to avoid opiate lawsuits. So I don't know if you are aware of this, but there has been supposedly, widely reported by many media outlets, a rash of shoplifting events that have caused the closure of stores, which is in fact a lie. Not really all that surprising. Corporations do that every single day. Um, and if you look at the percentage of shrinkage, of theft and things like that, compared to, like, their overall profits, it is an absolute minuscule amount. It is literally a rounding error. That's how small it is. All right? It is not the driving factor of closing any facility of any kind. But it makes good press now, doesn't it? Do you know what also would make good press if they'd report on it? And if they'd talk about it every single day on every single media outlet? Wage theft. Without looking it up, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to pause for a second. Stop the video. I want you to think about it. Then I want you to write an answer below. How much money do you think is stolen from the labor force of America by corporations on a daily basis? That's 365 times a year. How much? Go ahead, pause. Everybody got their guess? Everybody wrote that down? Excellent. The answer? $137 million every day. That's from not paying people overtime. That's from convincing people to start working before they've punched in or work after they punch out. That's from having people work through breaks. They didn't get their breaks, so they just kept providing the company their labor for free because they're legally entitled to those breaks. It's in convincing people they don't have vacation time or denying their vacation time to the end of the year when the vacation time disappears, because almost every corporation in America has a use it or lose it policy when it comes to vacation time. My company at least has when it comes to our few pathetic personal days. I think we get 4. If you don't use them by the end of the year, you get a payout. I personally think that the same should be true of vacation. You either get a payout at the end of the year or you get to roll that over into the next year. That is how I don't know if this is still true, but at one time when my father was working for the post office, he was not only an alcoholic but a workaholic. These two things are quite often linked. And he, when he was injured because he had a rotary cup injury because of repetitive motion, and he was required to use up his accumulated vacation time and sick time prior to beginning to get paid disability. He had 35 weeks saved up. That's an impressive amount of vacation time and sick time. Most places don't let you do that. I think they should. But corporations steal from us every day to the tune of $137 million a year. The amount that corporations lose through shoplifting is pathetically small. Now, I'm not saying shoplifting occurs. I know it occurs. And I'm not saying that there are lots of reasons that people shoplift. But there's an old saying, if you see someone shoplifting food in a grocery store, no, you didn't. If somebody's stealing food, they have a reason for that. They haven't gotten to that place in their life on a whim. Very few people are true kleptomaniacs. Most people steal for a reason. Some for survival, some to defeat a drug addiction, some few for purely economic reasons. But if they're stealing food or diapers or formula, yeah, you didn't see anything. Solidarity with our fellow citizens, folks, not with corporations. So don't give me the bullshit that these news items will tell you about how corporations are shutting down stores because of shoplifting. No, it's for many other reasons, none of which they want to tell you, because it makes them look bad. They would rather offload those reasons onto the public and let the public think that they're living in a crime-ridden cesspool, when in reality, crime is not doing as horribly as people think it is. Why? Because when crime is low, no one talks about it. They only talk about the sensational things. It keeps us tuning back into their shows, their news programs, and it keeps our eyeballs on their advertisers. So yes, if it bleeds, it leads has been a standard in media for centuries. All right, so when you hear reports like that, stop for a second, step back, and ask yourself, how realistic is that this is actually going on? Or is it much more likely a corporation is lying to me?